Follow us to stay updated on debates, discussions, facts, and tips about health. Click on the subscribe button and the bell icon for latest updates.
Good day, everyone. Today, we are privileged to have Mr. Kamran Khan, who has 18 years of expertise as food label consultant. He has worked with many top-notch companies, with companies like Xeon Life Science, and have worked with ITC too. Kamran Khan is here to shed light on the significance of food labels when it comes to parents making informed choices for their children's diet. Thank you for joining us, sir. Could you please introduce yourself briefly?
Yeah, thanks, Garima, and thanks, THIP, to say, giving me a chance to come here on your platform to enlighten the audiences, the consumers regarding the nutrition, what all the products in the market, and how to identify what all the good. So about myself, you have already given the introduction, but what I can say, I started my career as a food analyst. So from the starting only, I have a good knowledge, you can say, and I from the starting only, it came into my interest that what all the food coming into the market, the packaged food and the raw ones, what all the chemical contaminants, the microbiological contaminants are present in the food and how they are affecting the consumer, because most of the industries they are not following good practices. So we have seen the past also in US and all, we often see the recalls they have performed. And recently in India, we have seen that occurred issue with Maggie. They have recalled some of the batches, and earlier Kingfisher beer also, and no one can. I think everyone is familiar with the Nestle issue, the lead contamination, which
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think more than 10 years before it was there. So I think food, what we consume generally in a daily life, people should be aware what they are eating. Uh, People should be aware what kind of nutrition they are giving to their children and all. So I think this is a very basic and very important part of life.
Okay, sir. Let's start the session.
Yeah.
Uh, with my first question is, could you elaborate on some key aspects parents should pay attention while reading food labels for for their children's product?
Yeah, this is a very important question. Actually, as we see nowadays, there are many packaged food which people often giving to their children, and we often see on the social media, on the television, there are many brands who are influencing kids as well as the parents to take their products. So first of all, my advice to parents is to identify the products what they are giving. They need to see what their children are seeing on the television, on social media. Right now, we see that general food products, you can say, the recent cases of Vita, I think it was a very recent issue. The product contains sugars and all. But what I can say, people have to see what the nutrition, what they are giving to their children should be balanced. They more, I think they should focus on the natural food products, vegetables, fruits, cereal and pulses, milk and all, rather than going for the processed food. Yes, it is an additional nutrient which they can give, but the first thing you need to see they should give a natural food to the children. Mostly they can focus on the all the cereal products they should have in the home, that you can say dalia, lentils, milk, eggs, and then you can say then they can say if the vitamin nutrition is not in their coming to their diet, they can firstly contact to the pediatric, because what a nutrient deficiency a kid is having, we cannot say we directly cannot judge by the physical appearance, but yes, we can consult a good pediatric doctor, and after that advice, people should take these supplements, because without the advice on OTC platform, giving if they're giving something to their children, and if because they contain multiple nutrients, you can say protein, fats, macronutrients also, and the micronutrients, vitamin, minerals. But if my child is having a deficiency of certain vitamin, and I'm giving many vitamins in which some vitamins are required and some are not required. So it can be an issue with them. You can say a deficiency can be fulfilled, but hypervitaminosis and hypovitaminosis is a major factor which can happen in the children. So consult a good doctor, good dietitian, I can say, good nutritionist, or a pediatric doctor before giving certain supplements to the children.
But sir, with the market flooded with various brands, various products, how can a parent can differentiate ना between
Yeah, yeah,
कि
yes, yes.
ये अच्छा brand है, ये खराब brand है करके
हाँ,
कि
हाँ,
how can they make a nutrition choices and product that might not be suitable for their children's.
हाँ. So regarding this, you can say labeling knowledge is very much required. The parents should be aware how to identify such kind of foods which are good for their children. So first of all, they can check the ingredients present in the food product. What all the good ingredients mean to say milk derivatives. If the product contains whey, skim milk, or whole milk, so it is good. It is good for the children. Maltodextrin is a hidden filler. It's a carbohydrate source which most of the companies, because it's a cheap ingredient, and most of the companies, they are adding into the product to fill the gaps in their products. But maltodextrin is not a good carbohydrate source, so they have to see it should not be there. Secondly, sugar is a major factor. Actually, as per WHO, 25 gram per day of sugar is required for children. So because it is a daily nutrition
It's a
from
daily,
all sources they need 25 gram per day. But if a product contains certain high amount of sugar, means more than 10%, so I think they should avoid that. Secondly, should contain some cereals. If it contains cereal like bajra, ragi, and all, it will be good. Artificial sweetener, preservatives, they should be avoided because you must have known that recent case of aspartame, I think it is carcinogenic to some extent if we take it daily. It is a study. So avoiding preservative-rich flavorful foods, they have to avoid. They have to see. And secondly, of course, the nutritional information. How much protein? Because protein is an essential part of the diet for the growing children. Of course, carb also, but protein-rich diets, balance, you can say it should contain a balanced amount of protein, carbs, and vitamins. So that all, I think this is a thing they can notice. Apart from that, it should not contain the allergens and all, because some of the child are lactose intolerant. So
My
it,
next question was the same कि how important is it for parents to review allergen information क्योंकि सब पहले allergen information देते नहीं थे जैसे lactose intolerance soya allergy gluten allergy या अभी अभी आया है ये तो
yeah,
इंडिया में
actually,
अभी अभी आया है
yes, no, India may actually this allergen information is recently introduced by the FSSAI in the labeling, but it was there in US and the Europe and all. But intolerances is there in the children from last many years. There are children who are lactose intolerant in India as well, and some companies like Nestle and all, they are focusing on that. They are making such kind of products that need to be given to the lactose intolerant people. But yes, allergen information is a very critical thing, and the parents should need to see what kind of allergens are present in the food. Now it is mandatory to mention it on the labels as well. So some of the allergens are, you can say, first of all is milk. Milk is an allergen, then soya is an allergen, and cereals allergen means gluten. Wheat allergy is there in the children as well in
Mhm.
India. So wheat is an allergen, then fish. and you can say eggs,
Peanut.
peanuts and all. So these all are the allergen. They have to see what their child is, if their child is not, mean to say, having allergy of some of these, they should avoid. So this is a major thing they need to see on the label.
Okay, how important is including a supplement, क्योंकि हर supplement में preservatives होता है, and
Yeah,
as you have said earlier कि preservatives वाला, if some supplement contains preservatives, this is something that we should not let our kids to consume it. But supplements is an add-on thing for the to fulfill the nutritional gap for the children.
yeah, yeah.
हाँ, तो how important is including a supplement, and हर supplement में तो preservatives होता ही है, तो how you can compile this two?
See, first of all, supplement. Yes, you rightly said the supplement is to bridge the gaps,
Hmm.
what they are not getting into from their balanced diet. So as you know, the ICMR has defined the dietary guidelines for children as well as adult, ICMR. So they have defined some recommended dietary allowances for the children, and you can say I think people should have aware what all the dietary requirements needed by their child. It is from 1 year to till 18 years.
Till 18, yeah.
Yeah, so they have to mean to say time to time visit a good dietitian and nutritionist, and they need to check the diet what they are giving to their children and what nutrition their children is getting from the daily diet, and based on that they can choose what extra nutrition they need. Secondly, going to the preservative part, yes, preservatives are not good, but up to the certain limits they are safe. And yes, FSSAI has defined the limits as well for the preservatives, but yes, natural preservating agents are good, because if I'm adding some ingredients or something which is giving a function of an preservative, like vitamin C, you can say vitamin C ascorbic acid is itself a preservative,
Mm-hmm.
which can give a function of both. It can give a nutrition also, and it can function as a preservative
Preservative
also.
also. Hmm.
So that kind of preservatives, I think companies should add. It will not harm the children as well, but it should give a nutritional support as well. So natural preservatives can be recommended, and try to not to add preservative. Try to make their food without adding preservatives. It will have a good shelf life.
Without preservatives.
Yeah, because preservatives and all additives are added to increase the shelf life of the product.
Hmm.
Because so based on that, they have to choose the companies have to choose their ingredient wisely, which cannot deteriorate from time. Because soya, as you see, soya is a kind of ingredient which can deteriorate and cause a toxicity and aflatoxin and all microbiological toxicity also. So a food generally microbiological contamination, if the industry can avoid that using such kind of ingredient to control the water activity, because certain ingredients are having the properties who can reduce the water activity of the product. So basis on that, they have to choose their ingredients wisely, so that there will be no need of added preservatives and all. We have some products in the market which are without preservatives, but their shelf life is less.
Less.
So
Okay.
this is the case.
ये out of the context question है. What I think when I read a product label, प्रोडक्ट के पीछे जो न्यूट्रिशनल इंफॉर्मेशन है आर डी परसेंटेज है,
Yeah,
अकॉर्डिंग टू द कंपनी एंड अकॉर्डिंग टू द कंपनीज इंटरलिंक्ड विद द आईसीएमआर जो आरडीए का इंफॉर्मेशन एफएसएसआई ने दिया है,
yeah.
ठीक है, दे आर like within the limit, but it's up to the consumer. If someone is saying, if some brand is saying कि एक चम्मच ही a teaspoon of ही milk powder लेना है, flavored milk powder, but फॉर द टेस्ट हम 2 टीस्पून डाल रहे हैं, दैट
Mm-hmm.
मीन्स जो एडेड शुगर है वो तो डबल हो गया.
Double
एंड
हो
देन
गया.
आफ्टर ब्लेमिंग, लेने के बाद फिर ब्लेम करना कंपनी को कि दिस कंटेन्स शुगर, तो ये किस हद तक ये बात बैलेंस्ड है?
Yes, this is a very good point because no, I think awareness is a issue in India. So people are not aware ki how much they are taking, giving their children the product for these products for the taste and flavors because they say ki add one teaspoon of Bonvita, but child say ki I am not getting that much taste, add two. But yes, industries are designing the product as per the nutritional requirement. Ki they are giving clearly mentioning on the label claim ki only 10 grams or 5 grams of this can be taken once or twice. They have clearly mentioned. So reading food labels are very much important. And I also request every consumer, every parent to not to go by their own way. Just read the label carefully, what the companies have recommended, because they always recommend as per the guideline. Ki what all the recommended doses they are giving should have a appropriate RDA, because exceeding 100% RDA can be harmful.
Yeah.
Because if my body need five, you can say 8 mg, if a child need up 1 to 3 year of child needs 8 mg of iron per day. Okay, so if I'm giving a supplement which is having 4 mg of iron in their product and I'm giving three teaspoons, which means 4 into 3, 12. So it means they are exceeding the RD and it can be harmful for the children. So reading labels is correct way, instruction of use and recommended usage level that need to be mean to say need to be carefully examined before giving the specific product to the children. Okay, what the company is saying to take this teaspoon, they can give yes. If their doctor says you can take more than that, then you can take.
What is द व्हाट इज सर्विंग साइज? जो हर पीछे लिखा हुआ होता है, सर्विंग साइज 1, सर्विंग साइज 2, दिस
Yeah,
वेरी कंफ्यूजिंग.
see, serving size is the serving. Uh, mean to say ki what we have to take if I am consuming a milk, okay. So serving size means they have written clearly 1 teaspoon or 1 tablespoon and this much gram. 1 tablespoon, you can say 2 grams, 3 grams. So serving size is what the consumer need to take in a go, and one serving twice a day or thrice a day. If it is written in the pack, then they can. It means ki not in a one go. One serving in the morning, one serving in the afternoon if possible, or one serving in the evening. So likewise, we can decide. So
दैट
serving
मीन्स
means a
अगर
single
सर्विंग
serve.
साइज इज 15 ग्राम्स और नीचे लिखा हुआ है कि इट हैज टू बी कंज्यूम थ्राइस अ डे, तो
Then it
15
doesn't
डिवाइडेड
mean
बाय
कि
3 करना है हमें.
यस इट डजंट मीन 45 ग्राम्स में एक साथ दे दूं. सो एक्चुअली उसमें क्या होता है, डाइजेशन इश्यूज भी हो जाते हैं कि चिल्ड्रन उसको एक साथ नहीं कर पाएगा. तो कंपनी केयरफुली उस पर लिखती हैं कि अ सर्विंग साइज मीन्स अ सिंगल सर्विंग of any of the particular dosage, but they have to see कि this serving need to be taken once a day, twice a day, or thrice a day. If the label says कि one serving a day, that means you have to take it in a day. ठीक है, at any time you can take. Okay, then if you say one serving twice a day, then it is on the parents that they advisable to give in the morning or in the evening. Then thrice a day, morning, afternoon, and evening. Like the medicines, OD, BD, we give. No? So medicine cannot be taken if it says the BD. We cannot take two tablets in a go. So it means one in the morning and one in the evening. So this is the criteria parents need to choose.
और व्हाट आर आर्टिफिशियल फ्लेवर्स एंड? पहले तो आर्टिफिशियल फ्लेवर्स होता था, अभी इट काइंड ऑफ शोड इन द सप्लीमेंट की नेचुरल.
Actually, yeah, flavors you are saying. Na? These are three kinds of flavor defined by FSSCI. One is natural, one is nature identical, and one is artificial. See, all the three are allowed up to GMP levels. But yes, natural flavors are advisable because they are coming from natural source. So they are somewhat, you can say, safe, because chemical composite flavors, we cannot know कि they can harm in anywhere, but yes, it is allowed by FSSAI. But you can say, I think I advise to the parents, to the consumers, to take to choose natural flavors. Natural flavor means that if I'm giving a chocolate flavored drink to a child, so most of the company are adding cocoa. Cocoa gives chocolatey flavor rather than giving a natural identical or artificial chocolate flavor. So they can add cocoa, which can cocoa comes
What
from
is
cocoa bean.
natural identical?
Nature
आर्टिफिशियल तो चलो समझ में आता है, नेचुरल
actually,
आइडेंटिकल.
this I need to. I recently came to know because one of the flavor experience professional. It came. I met with a guy and I asked him what is the difference between natural and nature identical. So he says the natural means if I'm taking any flavor, I'm extracting any flavor from a plant source or a natural source. It's a natural flavor. Okay, so that flavor which I'm extracting from a source, it consists of a chemical formula. So
अच्छा.
that chemical formula, if I am making in the lab, which is
That's.
having the same chemical formula, it is
Mm-hmm.
a nature identical.
But
If I'm getting from a
chemical
natural
है वो.
source,
But that is
see,
chemical.
see, everything is chemical, no? If I'm getting any extract, I'm extracting anything. Every everything have a chemical structure. You know, na plant is
Mm-hmm.
also a botanical name. This contain an active ingredient, which is a
Mm-hmm.
so everything is having a chemical structure. I'm saying. So I'm getting any flavor from a natural source is having a chemical structure, but that I'm getting it from a natural source. But if I'm developing that same chemical structure in a lab, means a flavor. So
Mm-hmm.
that is a nature identical. But if I am mean to say कि developing a same flavor, but the chemical structure is different from the natural one, so that is an artificial.
That is
So
added.
nature identical means similar to the natural. The chemical structure is similar to the natural one. Artificial is similar flavor but different chemical structure.
Different chemical.
Yeah.
Are this natural, identical, and artificial flavors harmful?
No. Actually, up to GMP levels. GMP means the safer levels,
Mm-hmm.
which codex, which WHO has decided. Ki we have to evaluate them. Ki what is the safety level for that flavor in a day or an additive in a day. So GMP level means ki safety levels we need to evaluate first and then decide ki this dosage is safer to use, and these are the based on that this is the GMP, good manufacturing practice we can use. So safety need to be evaluated. Nothing is
But
safe. You can say nothing is safe if you are eating two chapatis in a time, and if you consume four chapatis, then it
mm-hmm.
will definitely
Not harm.
good for your digestive health. You can get a bad stomach. So nothing in excess is good. But yes,
Moderation is the key.
yes, definitely.
आपने कहा था कि चिल्ड्रंस को, खैर अभी तो एस्पर्टेम में भी बहुत बड़ा डिबेट हुआ था, यू माइट नो, रिगार्डिंग द डाइट कोक वाला थिंग.
But they have said na ki up to certain levels.
Certain levels.
Certain
So,
levels is there.
see, as an adult, I can have diet coke that contains aspartame. But as a child, if someone is
No, no,
asking,
no,
if
no, 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 no.
not at all.
This is the key. Actually, this is a major issue I have observed. The Sting is a drink, I think.
Yeah,
Red color drink, na?
हाँ, red
It
color.
is, I think it is very much popular among the children.
Yeah,
You know that
yeah,
it
yeah.
contains aspartame. I
हाँ, yeah.
think aspartame or acesulfame. I think some artificial.
Aspartame plus acetyl sulfate, I guess.
So these
Plus caffeine.
caffeine. So see, caffeine recommended dietary allowance is 300 mg per day as per FSSA. You cannot consume caffeine more than 300 mg in a day from all the sources, and you cannot consume caffeine up to 200 mg in a single serve.
हाँ.
So this need to be evaluated. And coming on the artificial sweetener, aspartame and acesulfame potassium, FSSAI also mentioned the labeling guidelines that for pregnant women, lactating women, and children, they are not
Not
advisable not
advisable.
to, yes, but that string, I think government should have to take some action because they are openly selling such kind of drinks, and shopkeepers are not aware. I think they should be aware that they're not to give such kind of drinks to the children because they can harm them.
But ऐसे products में it's written on the back side of the label, but
It
it
is
has not.
clearly not recommended for children, but I think yes, people not reading the labels in a proper way. Na, it is advisable, it is mandatory to mention this contains acesulfame, potassium, or aspartame, and not recommended for children in a box in 3 mm size.
Hmm.
Okay, and contain non-caloric sweetener, but I think nobody
No
cares.
one reads down.
But this is a serious health issue, and later on they complain that my child is having this problem, that problem. So it is advisable for the parents to read the labels carefully.
Before consuming, and it's it's for
It
the
is
both
required
ना कि मतलब
because
it's
we
for the
cannot.
parents and it's for the children who are above 15. वो तो पढ़ ही सकते हैं.
वो तो पढ़ ही सकते हैं, but it is advisable that children need to take care कि what their child is consuming. They
Are
have
there
to
any hidden names for sugar?
see sugars are of many types. Okay, so all sugars are carb. So yes, before coming to your answer, I would say कि before 2020, it was not mandatory to mention the total sugars quantity on the labels. So what the companies were playing now, they were, if they are adding sucrose, they were they are mentioning the sugar as sucrose only on the pack, and if they are not adding any sucrose form, disaccharide form, they are mentioning zero.
Hmm.
So this was giving an impression that the product doesn't contain any sugar. But now FSSAI are mandated to mention total sugars as well as added sugars on
Added
the pack.
sugar.
So
So
any kind of,
what's the
so
difference between total sugar and added sugar?
total sugars means all kind of monosaccharides and disaccharides what are naturally coming from the in the products and are added in the added means if I'm adding any monosaccharide or disaccharide in the product, it is the added one, added sugar. And if the it is coming naturally also, because if a product contains
Still
milk
contains
powder,
lactose,
it
lactose.
contains lactose is sugar, it is disaccharide. So
Hmm.
naturally it is coming. I'm not adding it, but it is coming. Maltodextrin is a
Hmm.
source of carbohydrate, so it will impart some calories. So it will come in total sugar. It will not come in added sugar. So likewise, fructose also a sugar. So if I'm adding fructose, I'm not adding sucrose, but adding fructose, it is added sugar also, and it will impart it will give come into the total sugars also. So people have to see what is the total sugar content of their food product rather than going for the added sugar. Added sugar can be zero, but product should have some total sugar.
It was a very,
Yeah,
his आप
because
like eye
sugar
opening वाली चीज है ये.
because sugar can come from flavor as well. क्या पता कि हमारे flavors में sugar जा रही है. So that's why FSSAI has, mean to say, they have noticed this thing and they have introduced this thing in the label. You have to mention total sugar, and I think this is appreciable from FSSAI point of view, and I really appreciate this. The total sugars are now mentioned in the label, and as you see on the milk packets, you will see total sugar because
Yeah.
milk having lactose.
Yes, yes.
So
Do you think our law regarding the food regulation is, despite being strict, but there are people who are not following it? क्योंकि if I see, as a consumer, if I'm going through Amazon
yeah.
for a supplement, I see many good products, like good labeled products, कि इसमें सारी चीजें जो FSSAI ने डिफाइन की है वो सारी चीजें लिखी हुई है, टॉकिंग अबाउट द टोटल शुगर, एडेड शुगर, फाइबर, soluble, insoluble, सारी चीजें. एंड देयर आर सम प्रोडक्ट्स जिसमें whenever we calculate the calorie part वो भी गलत आता है. You might have witnessed it
Hmm.
कि
Actually, I'm
कैलोरी
very
कैलकुलेशन भी गलत होती है इनकी.
हाँ. Actually क्या
तो
है कि so actually, I am also very much vigilant on this. I often raise my observations and queries to FSSAI regarding such kind of misbranded products, which I often see. The first part is the enforcement is very weak. I have met some officials, government officials in FSSAI, and there is some challenges regarding the shortage of the staff. They often say we are having shortage of staff. So therefore, enforcement is doing. But I think from the past 3 4 months, they are really vigilant with respect to the food supplements. They have released advisories as well. They have released notices as well, and they are in touch with these e-commerce platforms as well to evaluate all the food business operator who are displaying their products on their site should have a valid food license. What all the product pictures they are mentioning, the details they are mentioning should be in compliance with FSSAI, because I have some friends in the e-commerce channels as well. I regularly get a call from them. So the authority is in touch, and maybe there is a possibility in the next 2 3 years we can see very much improvement.
It's not just in India. Even the laws of the Western countries, no matter they are strict, but still there are many brands जो
हाँ,
ऊपर नीचे कर ही लेते हैं. So it's
actually
मतलब it would
industries
be
practice.
wrong just to blame India India का government regarding
It is
the food
everywhere.
level.
It is
It is
everywhere. It
everywhere.
is everywhere. But I think yes, you can say कि awareness वहाँ पर भी नहीं है, west में भी नहीं है. Awareness is not that in west also, because you can see कि most of the lifestyle diseases are there in west only. Obesity is a
हम्म.
major issue. The most
एंड वहां पे सबसे ज्यादा एलर्जन इश्यूज भी है.
allergy
यहाँ पे
issue भी
इतना इतना
नहीं.
नहीं है. आया है अभी अभी.
एक्चुअली इंडिया में थोड़ा सा ना वी आर
रेजिस्टेंस है.
वी रेजिस्टेंट है.
हाँ
तो
हाँ.
वो थोड़ा सा उसको लेके हैं. लेकिन यस, इंडिया में जंक फूड का इतना नहीं है जितना बाहर है. प्रोसेस फूड का इतना नहीं है जितना बाहर है. They
हम्म.
consume more than 80% of the processed foods, the packaged foods. But in India, we depends on the natural foods. हम मार्केट जाएंगे सब्जी खरीदेंगे, बिकॉज
हाँ
दे,
हाँ हाँ.
बट वो जाएंगे पैक्ड फूड खरीदेंगे.
हम्म.
दे वो बीन भी पैक खरीदेंगे, वो सब कुछ पैक वेजिटेबल भी खरीदेंगे, चिकन भी पैकेज होगा. और इंडिया वी कैन गेट फ्रेश थिंग्स. So it is an advantage for us also.
What do you think about the recent claim regarding Diet Coke? कि WHO ने क्लेम किया, देयर वाज अ बिग हैवक ना कि WHO is claiming that aspartame can be a possible carcinogenic. बट ये क्लेम इंडिया में मतलब कैसे लागू हो सकता है? बिकॉज वी आर नॉट डिपेंडेंट ऑन कोक्स और पेप्सीज, मतलब ऑन कोल्ड ड्रिंक्स एंड सॉफ्ट ड्रिंक्स मोर ओवर. जैसे इन वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज वी ड्रिंक मोर वाटर. वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज में पानी की तरह दे ड्रिंक सॉफ्ट ड्रिंक.
Yeah.
तो व्हाट डू यू थिंक कि दैट क्लेम क्या इंडियंस लोगों पे भी लागू होती है कि इज जस्ट फॉर द वेस्टर्न्स, इज जस्ट फॉर
नहीं,
अलार्मिंग वेस्टर्न्स एंड अलर्टिंग वेस्टर्न्स के स्टॉप ड्रिंकिंग और मॉडरेट ड्रिंकिंग करिए रिगार्डिंग डाइट कोक्स?
देखिए इसके रिलेटेड ही मैं पहले आपको बताता हूँ कि देयर वाज कलर named titanium dioxide. It is a food color. It is most of the pharma companies are also doing adding that titanium dioxide as a coating agent in their tablets. So titanium dioxide is banned by European Union. It is banned by the Gulf, but it is still there in the US and in India because they found it not that unsafe. So every country have their own law, have their own point of view. Titanium dioxide is banned 3 years ago in EU, but it is still there in Indian regulation. It is still there in US because they says that we haven't found it that much unsafe. So likewise, aspartame, I don't know. It is a very old artificial sweetener, and why they have observed now it is having.
राइट. हाँ.
So it is a view of every industry, but I think uh, they have to study more. And FSSAI cannot ban it on if a country is saying it is unsafe. They have to study on their population because the environmental condition is different in Gulf. The dietary condition are different there, and dietary condition and environmental condition different in India. So study, we have to study on every population ki what that how much dosage is harmful for them and how much is in India. So basis on that we can take the decision. Government cannot take decision ki if they are banning it, we can ban it.
There was same thing with the very renowned protein brand. which is banned in most of the countries, like most of the Western countries, but in India we are still using it. So it depends upon the audience, it depends upon the consumers. You are saying ना कि गवर्नमेंट तब तक only because बाहर की कंट्री ने उसे बैन किया है doesn't mean कि ये यहाँ पर भी बैन हो.
देखो
It all
देखिए,
depends upon population.
एक्चुअली क्या होता है ना कि डाइटरी रिक्वायरमेंट बाहर की अलग है,
हम्म.
हमारी अलग है। हमारा जो एनवायरमेंटल कंडीशन है, हमारे जो जोग्राफिकल है क्राइटेरिया, जो चीज़ें हैं, वो सारे फैक्टर्स देखे जाते हैं। ऑल द फैक्टर्स दे नीड टू कंसीडर। कोई ऐसा चीज़ नहीं है कि जो चीज़ यूएस में क्या अफेक्ट है उसका पॉपुलेशन पे, वो इंडिया में भी सेम रहेगा। कंडीशंस डिफर करती हैं। So based on that, government takes decision. The regulatory on based on my experience, I can say that it depends कि how the people here in India, how much level of thing of certain ingredient or something is harmful to them. They, and we need to evaluate on our population first. We cannot
Yep.
say na कि 100 mg of this thing is harmful to them, and we cannot say कि 100 to हमारे पे भी होगा. We have to evaluate first. We have to choose the subject. We have to take the subject and choose the population and all criteria. The what is the environmental conditions. कि हम देखिए हमारे यहाँ भी geographical बहुत difference है. We are a very diverse country. So in south you can say a different climate, in northern part, in eastern part, in western part. So हमको सब कुछ लेके चलना पड़ता है. तो वो डिपेंड करता है, उसके बेसिस पे ही होता है. वी कैन नॉट से ब्लाइंडली कि इफ दे हैव बैंड वी कैन बैन. टाइटेनियम डाइऑक्साइड चल रहा है हमारे यहाँ पे, कोई ऐसे एडवर्स केसेस नहीं है अभी तक.
अच्छा. So sir, it was very, thank you for clarifying everything, and thank you for sharing your expertise with us today, and your insights are undoubtedly very valuable. I would love to request everyone, every consumer, कि वो कोई भी चीज ले वो प्लीज एक बार लेबल चेक कर ही ले, भले ही थोड़ा टाइम जाए, समझ में ना आए, पर वो लेबल चेक कर ही ले. दे शुड नो व्हाट दे आर ईटिंग, दे शुड नो व्हाट दे आर मेकिंग देयर चिल्ड्रंस ईट. करेक्ट सर?
डेफिनेटली, डेफिनेटली. एक्चुअली इन इंडिया इन रिसेंटली आई हैव नोटिस्ड कि लाइफस्टाइल डिजीजेस बहुत कॉमन हो गए हैं. एडल्ट्स में तो हैं ही, पर चिल्ड्रन में भी आई हैव सीन कि पीपल, स्मॉल स्मॉल चिल्ड्रन, दे आर सफरिंग फ्रॉम you can say the kidney stones, thyroid problems.
थायराइड इज it's very normal.
So I think this is something which we have to check. The parents need to encourage their children. They need to evaluate the food labels, the what are the foods they are consuming, because आपको पता ही है कि बच्चों को पैसा दे दो तो वो बाहर जाते हैं chips, biscuits, candies, and junk foods. In every corner we can see a burger store, a momo stall, and I like these are, we cannot say na कि every day you can consume such kind of products. So yes, people, parents have or should have to take time to educate themselves. They have to read food labels carefully. What are the nutritional values of the food product? What are the ingredients present? What are the allergen? And they cannot mean to say कि sway solely what the advertisement is saying and what are the board, what the designer packaging of the food. They cannot rely on that if it is designed, because children get attracted to the packaging.
Yeah.
Because most of the time we say na cartoons are printed on the packs,
Hmm,
you
hmm, hmm,
attract
hmm.
the children. But as an adult, as a parent, we have to see na ki what our child is consuming. So we need to educate ourselves first, and based on that we can educate our children.
So all the information regarding the RDA, all the information regarding the higher values, the lower values of chemicals, flavors, and everything is mentioned on the FSSAI website. So if a parent is having any
Yeah,
problem, they can go through the FSSAI
and
website.
and it is
तो ये
easily
free
available.
information
It
है.
is easily, it is free, it is easily available right now. Because आपको पता ही है कि जब से अभी 2016 के बाद से, when the net is become has become cheaper, everyone is accessible to the internet and all. So on internet we can find everything, but we need to choose. We have to see what is the right thing.
Right thing. And
Yeah,
what information we want.
we want, yes. And yes, FSSCI is accessible to all, and Parents can easily access the RDA guidelines, the nutrient NIN site is there where they have published a book. What are the dietary guidelines for the children and adults per day? So what kind of food they can include in their daily diet? So I recommend that people have to firstly choose the natural food, cereal, pulses, vegetables, fruits, and rather than going for the packaged ones.
Packaged food.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Ending the session with great information and great knowledge. Thank you so much, sir. It was nice talking to you.
Thanks very much. Thanks for giving me a chance.